everyone. I thought I'd do a quick video. I wasn't expecting to do one so soon after my dental surgery, but here I am. It's not going to be a very long one because I'm in quite a lot of discomfort in my mouth right now, but I thought, well, it's been nearly a week now, so I needed to just touch base with some updates. So a quick summary of the 26th of August, I went for my 4 root canal extractions. 2 came out okay. The third one was really difficult and the tooth broke off, leaving the rest of it in my jaw. And unfortunately part of the dental instrument came off, which went down my throat. So we had to get me out of sedation and taxi to the private hospital not far away from the dental surgery. So I had my x-ray done really quickly, and the sedation guy came with me. He was absolutely like, it was like a guardian angel had been sent down to me that day. That's all I can say. I don't actually know what we'd have done without him, and it's making me feel quite emotional just talking about it, really, because people who go out their way to help you like that without putting a price tag on it are rare to find. And he had my best interests at heart that day, and he was just there for me. That's all I can say. And massive. So thank you, Azar, from Sedation Solutions. And we'll be seeing each other again tomorrow. I'm probably like a bad recurring dream for you now, or rather a nightmare. I'm sure tomorrow will go fine. So they located the metal object, and I returned to Devon, only to find I couldn't get an x-ray locally, which was needed to follow how this was moving through my gut. So anyway, 72 hours after the incident, I finally passed the screw, and I've posted photographs up of the object in question. So I was really relieved about that. It was such an anxious 72 hours. I have no words. As well as coping with the dental surgery, I was trying to stop myself escalating into a complete meltdown, but it was just really tough going, hoping that this was going to pass through. And I hadn't been eating because my mouth was so painful. So it took longer than probably it would have if I'd have been eating. What else can I say about that? Yeah, so a day after my surgery, it was really strange. My mouth, it just like it was burst into flames. It felt really raw and burning, and under the right side of my tongue, on the underside, I had a row of massive ulcers, and they're still there, but it's eased off a little bit, but they're rubbing against my teeth, and my teeth aren't rough, so it isn't the teeth that have caused it. It may be that I bit my tongue while I was sedated, I don't know, but it's feeling more like some sort of a reaction to something. In pre-surgery, my mouth was always, for several years now, been feeling really raw and sore, and even taking things like omega oils, I'd put them in my mouth and it would burn the back of my throat. So there was already an issue. So it's not the surgery that's caused that, but whatever has happened, the trauma in my mouth or whatever, it's amplified what was already there. And yeah, it's pretty hardcore, no joke really. So I've been doing my salt rinses and arnica and all that sort of thing. So where am I at now? So I had to arrange to go back for my rest of my surgery to complete this process, and it had to be bank holiday, didn't it? And this week, my dentist regular nurse, who's lovely, she's not on duty this week, she's on leave, so there was no nurse, and it was bank holiday Monday. Really struggling to find one, and then bank holiday Monday I got a call to say a nurse had been found, and I thought, thank God, because I couldn't go a second week feeling like this. And So I booked my train, booked my accommodation, and then I rang the sedation company Tuesday afternoon to find that I wasn't booked in. And I was like, oh my God, why aren't I booked in? Because everything is sorted. So they were going to ring the dental practice for me. So I spent all of afternoon in quite a high stressed state, because there's a lot of organising to do when you're arranging to travel for these things, as a lot of you will know. My husband's had to organise leave. We had to book the hotels, trains and everything. So I was panicking that it could get to Thursday and I hadn't got my sedation booked. So they were going to contact the surgery for me. And then I got a message, I don't know, 4:30, 5 o'clock yesterday from the sedation company saying that they were waiting to hear back from the practice, the dental practice, today. So as of yesterday afternoon, my sedation wasn't booked in. So I've had another difficult overnight, worrying, waiting for this morning, thinking I'm going to lose my hotel money. I could end up with another week of being like this. It's just been bloody awful. I don't know what I've... So I don't know what was worse, actually, being told yesterday morning that they thought they had a nurse but now they didn't, or for it to be left to the end of the day and not knowing what the hell's happening. I'm not quite sure what's the worse, the better of the two evils, really, but whatever. It hasn't been great. So anyway, this morning they've found a nurse, thank God. I'm just so relieved. So I'm on the 7:30 train to Paddington again tomorrow. Another overnight stay, another sedation booking, and it's all added stress, energy, emotion, money. Thankfully, I've now got a bit of help towards the sedation fee, from my dentist, so I'm really grateful for that. But I just wish I wasn't in this situation of having to go back to be put under again to have all this done. But anyway, it is what it is, and I've just got to get on with it and get this work completed so that I can move forward. So life does throw us some curveballs, doesn't it? But it's getting I'm a bit sick of them. And I think there's been a lot of reflection going on for me over the last week, I've got to say, and I've thought back on conversations I've had with other patients who've got dental issues, and conversations I've also had with dentists, actually, about different things. And you know, as crappy as this is, there's a lot of learning to be done from the situations that we find ourselves in, and it gives us a lot of wisdom for the future and to help us navigate other situations that we might find ourselves in. So I wish I could have just had the surgery, got out of the chair and got in a taxi and gone straight to bed at the hotel, but it wasn't to be. So tomorrow I've got another full root canal to take out, and the remainder of the root canal that's left in my jaw. And I mean, from this, something that I've learned is that your root canals, apparently mine are just like bloody concrete, and they're really, really hard to get out. It isn't just you yank a tooth out. Honestly, it takes a lot of skill to get these types of root canals out of somebody's mouth. So I think the tooth that's got to come out the jaw tomorrow, I think the gum's going to have to be cut and flapped back and drilled out, because what happens, as my understanding is, and I'll talk about it at a later date when I've learnt more about it, because I just can't start looking things up and researching at the moment. But they can get so solid, they actually fuse to the jawbone. So when it goes to come out, it won't bloody come out. So they have to get in and go and detach the root from the bone and drill some of the bone away of your jawbone. So I've only found that out today. And it's making me feel... How's it making me feel? I feel just so many things, but I'm bloody angry that so many people are in a position where they're being told they need root canals, because look at what the hell it does to you. And this isn't a unique situation that I'm in, truly. And sometimes it might be decades after you've had a root canal that you end up with a problem. And what does all of this do to your immune system? It's barbaric. That's how I would describe root canals. So just please don't have one. And I think I'm going to do something really brave in a minute, so I hope you appreciate this, but I think maybe the reason a lot of people go for a root canal when a dentist says to them, the filling has failed, the tooth has failed, your only option to keep the tooth is a root canal, people go for that option because they don't want to lose a tooth. They don't want a gap. They don't want a denture, so they do this thinking, well, I can keep my tooth and all will be great. But root canals, honest to God, they are just no more than a dead piece of your body breeding bacteria. That is not a healthy place. And eventually, you'll probably end up having to have that tooth out. Or you may develop an illness from it. So you may have kept your tooth for a few more years, but what consequences will be uncovered for doing that? So I'm going to show you now. This is really emotional for me. But I'm going to show you now where I've had my tooth out, because this is too important to ignore, everybody. And I was freaking over having this teeth out, seriously. At 56, I'm going to have 5 teeth missing. I'd already had one out under general anaesthetic. And I'm thinking, I don't want a bloody denture at 56. I don't want a gap. I'm never going to want to look in the mirror again. I was even stressing about going to see my regular therapist because I thought, I'm not going to want to smile. I'm not going to want this gap. But after the chaos that I found myself in after coming out of sedation, I didn't even have time to think about it, to dwell on it. It was a distraction. And now I just can't wait to get the rest of it out, because it's pulsating like mad and it's really awful. So the anxiety over having this gap has decreased. I just want to get the rest of it out. I want to heal, and I want to get my partial denture, my flipper. I'm not bothered about the teeth at the back. I actually don't care. And I'm actually feeling, I'm accepting of what's that this tooth near the front has gone. I can't believe I'm doing this video and I'm about to show you where this gap is. So what a massive leap I've made in the last 6 days. Because in that chair before they put me to sleep, honest to God, I was feeling hysterical, and I was crying and hyperventilating, and a massive sense of grief and loss and despair of how the hell did it get to this? And now I can't wait to get in that chair tomorrow, even though that incident happened. You know, human mistakes happen and we've just got to get on with things. And we have to focus on the way forward and what we do next, not dwell on what has been. Because I've passed it, I'm okay. You know, the money side is pretty crap that I've now got to spend this extra money out. Anyway, okay, so I'm going to, before I go into the big demo, the other thing, I had my metal allergy testing report back from Melissa yesterday, and I was negative to all metals except for nickel. And nickel, I was strongly positive. So that's took me down a rabbit hole now of looking, I haven't looked in great detail, but looking at what has nickel in it. Unbelievable. Most of the things that I eat a lot of have high levels of nickel in them. So I'm thinking, you know, is this maybe a reaction to having the amalgam out? That my body's gone into a detox state, and that's why my mouth was so sore and has gone worse since having it out, because my body's now purging what's left, and I can't start the metal detox yet until my root canals are out and my body's settled down a bit. But it does make me wonder. I don't know. Yeah, so I know sort of testing can be criticised a lot, but for me, I like to know, because then I know what I can do to support something and to reverse it. So I just find it incredible, and I don't know if there's any dentist can confirm for me, but I did read online that amalgam fillings contain nickel. I don't know. Dental surgical stainless steel instruments contain nickel. You know, if I had an allergic reaction to that thing that went in my stomach, possibly not, but, you know, who knows? Don't know. So it's going to be an interesting rest of this year to see, once all this surgery's done, to see what happens with my body. And, yeah, it's not a particularly happy video, this one, but I said from day one of starting this podcast project that I would share with you my whole journey, and this is part of it. It's part of it. I still believe in biological dentistry. I'm never ever going to step foot near a non-biological dentist ever again. I still have my visions of what we need to see in the future, which will include a bloody good biological dentist with other services to support that person. As we've seen over the last 18 months, life is never going to be the same. And healthcare sure as hell isn't. And we have to create something new now. You know, the time has come, and I'm seeing some wonderful people coming through now who are there in the background creating new things, and that is going to be our future. And, you know, I know these times are difficult, but please trust that there are better things coming. We've just got to get through this time that we're in, personal and collectively, and reflect on it all and learn from it, and it will help us navigate whatever the future is that lies ahead. So, okay, so I'm going to tell you where I had my extractions. So I've had one at my top right there, which has given me no problems at all. There was hardly any bleeding afterwards either. And then on the left side, this has always been my problem side, and 6 years ago I had an amalgam tattoo swell up to the size of a pea, and it was the worst pain I've ever, worse than childbirth probably. The pain, I couldn't even move my head like this, up and down, so it was awful. Went to NHS hospital, x-rayed, they had no clue, sent me home. Went to my NHS dentist, who said it wasn't dental, said it was fibromyalgia. I went to my fibromyalgia consultant, who said it wasn't fibro, it was dental, and then I was just basically left. And that has been my last 6 years of doing a national tour of biological dentists, you wouldn't believe. There's enough to write a book. So yeah, on this left side, so I had the one offending tooth out that was underneath the amalgam tattoo at an NHS hospital. I took my x-ray that Graham Munro Hall did for me 5-6 years ago, which clearly showed fragmented metal pieces from an historic apicectomy, which must have been about 30 years ago, was now in my jawbone. And that was where the amalgam tattoo was. And I said, while you've got me under, could you please get that out of my gum? And they refused to do it and said that that would not be affecting my health. Even though it was right above the tooth they were taking out, they wouldn't do it. And then since starting my podcast project, I did data access information requests, and I got all my notes from that hospital. There was nothing recorded saying that I asked for that tooth to be taken out, to ask for that metal to be taken out of my gum. There was no mention of that whatsoever, that I'd shown him x-rays, nothing. So hopefully sharing that will help some of you who are currently on this journey too. Get copies of everything, document everything. And on that note, before I do go on to the grand finale of my left-sided gaps, because I can't actually talk much longer, it's killing me. And I'm going to talk about this in a video at a later date probably, because I think it deserves more attention. But there are many patients like me who are seen as problematic, where we have complex dental issues, lots of health issues, and we may have gone to see loads of dentists before the one that we settle with. So straight away, alarm bells are ringing for these dentists who see us. I mean, I'm just grateful somebody took me on, to be honest. And I know from talking to dentists and patients, with the dentists have actually told me there is a fear in the industry of problematic patients suing them. And I get that. I totally get it, because not all patients are wanting to do the work they've got to do, and they're demanding, and if it doesn't go as planned, they straight away, I'm going to sue you. So, you know, I understand that. But then you've got patients who we're just needing support and somebody with the skills to help us. And we're not out for battles. We've hardly got enough energy to cope with getting ourselves well. The last thing we need in our life is stress and battles. Trust me. So I just want to say to all the dentists out there who may listen to this, please don't judge us all by what other dentists may tell you about their experiences, or from patients that you may have come across in the past who have tried to take action against you, because we're not all the same. So please don't treat us the same and judge us when you don't even know us. I've had my issues with dentists, and no doubt the word is going round on the circuit. But every negative experience I've had, I can totally support what happened and back it up. All you've got to do is ask me, and I'd share it. But you know, I'm not out for naming and shaming. I just want the right thing to be done by these people. So I'm not going to go on a rant all over social media naming dentists. All I can do is share my personal journey and just hope that people use it to help navigate whatever it is they've got to do. And there's lots of Facebook groups and things where people can go in and read about others' experiences. So it doesn't need me to be naming any dentists online, that's for sure. But there is this culture in society of suing people, and I just wish it wasn't so. And if everybody did the right thing, there wouldn't be a need for that. It's about the dentist understanding of the patient, and the patient understanding the dentist, and working as a team together to get the solution that both of them want. I mean, ultimately, a dentist doesn't want you to come in the chair to, well, no biological dentist wants you to sit in their chair in order to harm you intentionally. So we've just got to be mindful of each other. Anyway, I've done 25 minutes now, so I wasn't going to talk long. So this is the tooth that was freaking me out, that the tooth is left in the jaw. It's this one here. So that is pulsating. It's been 6 days now of it's not great. Then I've got another tooth next to it, which is really painful, but I think that's coming from this site of what's going on here. And then I had another one extracted next to it, which had a root canal and a crown. And then the tooth next to that was already gone. So really, on this left side of my face, I was thinking before surgery, I've hardly got any teeth now. Oh my God. But I say now, you know, they're out. And it's about moving forward now. So I really hope by... Oh, and I've got to have that black one out. Second from the back, another failed root canal. So I just hope again by sharing this, looking as I do, in my dressing gown in the middle of an afternoon, will help give you strength for whatever it is that you're going through with your dental journey or any journey, and just flow with it and just get the right people around you to support you. You know, personally, I'm weary of being a coordinator of my own health after 10 years with my fibro label. You know, you end up with all these different departments, scans, blood tests, doctors, consultants, movement therapists, acupuncturists, chiropractors, you know, all these different things. People don't talk to each other, and you end up, when you're feeling so weak and tired, you're ending up having to be a patient coordinator for yourself, and I don't like that. I just want somebody to carry me through a process so that I can focus on what I have to do and put my energy into my processing and recovery. So that's again another topic for another day, isn't it? So yeah, anyway, I'm waffling on, so I'm going to go now, and hopefully tomorrow night all this surgery will be over. So take care everyone. Bye.